Good morning, unless it's afternoon or nighttime when you're watching this.
Welcome to Three Naked Guys with Clothes On. Once again, it's just two guys. So, if you like this, after this video, during it, whenever you want to, comment if you'd like to be the third naked guy. So basically that's the premise of this. It's us two and there'll be a third guy sometimes. Sometimes there won't be. If you would like to be the third guy for some of our shenanigans and bullshit, then please let us know and we'll get you on. You'll be on the next episode. The first one that comments that wants to be here.
Sit right here.
Probably next weekend. You could sit right between us. Or you could sit over here. Wherever.
And for the record, doesn't have to be a guy. If you're a girl, don't be too pretty. Our wives will freak out.
That's true. And if our wives want to be on the show,
either of them too. They can be as pretty as they want.
We'll allow it this time. All right. So let's get to the beer. What do we have?
Today, my wife and I took a road trip. We did a bunch of things. We went to a park, saw a waterfall, went to West Side Market. That's a market in Cleveland that sells cow anuses and all kinds of crazy things.
That's badass.
That's not what we got. We got beef jerky.
I saw the snap.
Probably made out of the ass. I don't know.
Tracy did a snap of the Christmas ale bacon. Did you buy any?
No, we didn't. It would have gone bad before we got home. Excuse me. But across the street is the Market Garden Brewery. I can speak well. And we did the tour there. I tried a sample of the B1000 Terminator. It is a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, which sounds like death to me. None of those things are things that I like.
Sounds harsh.
I really enjoyed it though. It's a very good beer. So this is what we're gonna try. We're gonna do some of this.
Star or something like that. Oh yeah.
I jumped.
That's a great sound.
You know, one of them's got to go in this so you can see how dark it is.
Yes.
As they were pouring it, they explained to us when they first initially got done brewing it, it was so thick and so dark that it was undrinkable for most people.
Wow.
So they cut it with their Hefeweizen style beer.
No shit.
Just a little bit to thin it out and lighten it. That has been lightened. And I think it might be that makes it not taste quite as bourbon barrel aged and imperial. Because I do like stouts, not as much as I enjoy a good IPA, but I do genuinely like stouts. There's plenty left in there. If Tiffany would like some,
good amount if we can get the third guy, who was the camera guy last time, my wife. But she's tending to children. Thank you.
No children running around in this video, though. So
yeah,
far.
Sorry. If you came here for that, this one's going to be a little bit more tame, maybe a little bit more boring. We haven't been drinking all day. We haven't been brewing today. So we're just going to try this beer, shoot the shit a little bit, talk about some other beer things, and kind of go from there. I'm going to try it. Looks great. It's got a nice, thin, foamy, milky head.
That's just a sign of a bad pour. My bad.
I think you get that from these sometimes. That is...
Imperial without having that kick you in the throat kind of feel that a lot of them have.
Yeah, it's boozy without being overly boozy. You get the bourbon barrel age, so it's a beer that was aged in bourbon barrels. If you don't know what that is, I mean, it's just what it sounds like. Typically, they're very over the top boozy, kind of make you feel like you had a glass of bourbon and you dumped a little bit of light beer in it. Sometimes this is not that. It's not overwhelming. It's sweet. The coffee comes through. I have the coffee in my mouth right now. You definitely get some...
It really tastes like a dark chocolate.
You get some chocolate notes coming through for sure, and it's not like a milk chocolate. Yeah, you're right. It's definitely a dark chocolate.
But yeah, I surprisingly very much enjoyed it, and I thought, why not try this one for Three Naked Guys with Clothes On? Because we're going to do a lot of IPAs. We both love IPAs. But we gotta keep it, you know, a little variety every once in a while. So here's once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So
also, it's 11%. So this could get fun real fast.
That's what I was going to say. There's not a bunch of boring facts for me to read off to you guys right now, so that's pretty good. Just a few things. It's 11%, like you just said, and it's a limited release. What more can you say? It speaks for itself, basically.
In beautiful Cleveland, Ohio.
And it's the type of beer that honestly is going to open up the more that it kind of sits a little bit and warms up. These are typically drank at a little bit warmer temperature. We're cold beer guys. We like our beers cold, so that's a little bit kind of beyond our spectrum right now. But as we let it sit while we record, it'll open up a little bit. You'll get a little bit more of whatever they're trying to intend for you to get. We do have a children here right now. Hello. This one's not going to be loud though, because that's just not her thing. What's up? You just want to be in the video?
Hi, Nora. So, as far as the third naked guy with clothes on, do comment below. Would love to get someone on here. One of the requirements would be, unless you do not drink. If you are absolutely not a drinker, for whatever reason, I'm not going to make you drink. But if you do want to sit down on this couch and be with a third naked guy with clothes on, and you do take a little beer in every once in a while, you're going to try whatever we're trying that day. Even if it's just a shot glass of it, you got to take a sip. Just so we can get an opinion from someone who maybe this is not their cup of tea. That'd be a good time. We'll ask a couple questions about beer, a couple questions maybe about current events without getting too political, because that's not that kind of show, and I don't want it to be.
Nope.
But maybe like some sports stuff or something like that. So yeah, I would love to get a few people on there, whether we know you or not. Honestly, I don't want to invite strangers over to his house. This is his house, not mine.
Come to us. Strangers might be a possibility, but we film in a different location, probably outside. Obviously, this is a different location
Motel
in the first place.
In the middle of the night.
We could do Steve's Motel.
Where you're going that night.
I haven't been there since 1990. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Never been there, probably, that I can recall. Those were like the Red Dog days, though.
Yeah.
A little bit different. Now we got the kid behind the camera. So, yeah, and we also have some other things planned for that third guy. Some games and little things that'll be fun. We're not going to give too much away. We need someone to come on and do it first, and we were going to do it this time, but it just kind of didn't work out. We don't have a set schedule. We don't have a set. Trying to work on this set. This is thrown together at the last minute. We'll go from there and see what happens. As far as like the last episode, the beer that we brewed that day is still in the first fermenter. I thought it might be ready today because the activity slowed down in the airlock, and from what I'm reading, one bubble in per minute basically or less means that it's done, and I'm getting about 2 to 3 bubbles per minute, so it's still active enough that it can stay in there. Sometime this week it'll probably be ready to move into the second fermenter. We'll add a dry hop to it, which gives a lot of the aroma and things, from what I understand, from what I'm reading, because I'm still learning.
Upfront flavors, again, from what I understand. I'm not a pro brewer. I got a couple of batches down the hatch, so I'm ahead of Jay a little bit as far as experience. I think he's a little more well-read than me, though.
It's a journey for both of us. This whole thing is about our journey into where this takes us. So it's brewing the beer, it's making the videos, all that kind of stuff that encompasses it all. We don't know what we're doing with most of it. So, you know, if you want to watch our journey, that's basically why you're here. I haven't drank that much today, I swear. I just can't talk. My thoughts are going 100 miles a minute because we really didn't prepare for this. We didn't really know what we were going to say. We're just going to kind of try this beer and see what happened.
We're winging it sober.
Winging it sober.
Great idea. Who was the executive producer?
Maybe we'll go back to the stylistics of episode 1. So anyways, the first beer, still in the first fermenter, going to the second fermenter pretty soon. It'll be in there for a couple weeks, and we'll go to bottling. one thing I noticed from the first video is I talk with my hands a lot, and I don't like it, but it is what it is. I don't know how to not do it.
It's okay. No one cares. It's cool.
That would be different if I talked with my hands like that. That would... I don't know what that would be. I'm getting ready to brew another beer, though. I'm going to start already because I have enough fermenters, and between the both of us, I have enough bottles to bottle both. I bought an extra airlock and stuff like that, so I'm going to brew Kolsch beer. And this one is also from a kit because I'm not ready for the all-grain, make-my-own recipe kind of thing yet. This one came from the Grape and Granary. I call it the Grape and Granary, but... Google calls it the Grape and Granary, so...
I think you're right. Their commercials call it the Grape and Granary.
Okay, I'm going to go with I'm right because I'm like, what is a granary? And I haven't looked it up yet.
That's where they make grandmas.
That's where they make grandmas. Okay. It's got similar instructions. I'm going to change it up a little bit by adding some fruity notes at the end in the second fermenter, I believe. I can't remember if this one has a second fermenter. Either way, towards the end, I'm going to add some fruit. Originally was going to do apricot, but turns out that apricot are hard to find, and puree is... You have to have a second mortgage to get.
Oh, well, okay.
It's like $25 a can right now. So
if you
it's
mess up that
summertime.
beer, that is a tragedy.
It's summertime. Watermelons are on sale, so watermelons going into Kolsch.
Watermelon Kolsch?
Watermelon Kolsch. And I just want a hint of it. I don't want it to be overly watermelony. I just want kind of a hint of it for someone to say, yeah, I get a fruity note from it, which some people do from a Kolsch anyways. Typical Kolsch, I don't get the fruitiness very often, but it's a light beer. It's a style that my wife likes, and she does not like the IPA, so she wanted me to brew something she likes. I wasn't feeling like putting my hands into a stout or a porter right now, so I'm going to go to a Kolsch, summertime, add a little bit of fruit, see what happens. I'm going to do that in the next week. Could be Thursday after the Weezer concert, but probably not because I won't feel...
He's not going to feel
I'm not going to feel great.
Have you seen this guy at a concert?
So possibly Sunday. We'll see what happens. But that's what's in the works is to brew this Kolsch, and hopefully I will have some help from Ethan and whoever else wants to come out. Just let me know. We've got our dry malts. Got this giant can.
Can? Really?
Of the wet malt extract.
I've never,
liquid malt
never
extract.
seen that in a freaking Campbell's giant soup can before.
I know. It's a little bit different.
That's the Food Club soup can.
It throws you back to like the Mr. Beer stuff that came in a can, you know? But it was like the little tiny cans.
Did you help me brew that Mr. Beer kit?
No, I wasn't there when you brewed it, but I did.
On the stove.
I did try
in the
it.
kitchen. It was, you know what it tasted like? The Blimp City Brewery Pilsner. What I made was supposed to be an IPA. So there's that. But
did it taste like green bean tea?
No, but you know what? It tasted like beer. It was drinkable, though not very good.
I tried it, but it's so long ago that I don't remember. And the sad part of all this is, for one Christmas, you bought me a Mr. Beer kit. I still have that fucking thing in my room over here that I've never brewed. Maybe we should do that in a video someday. And
that would be really funny.
Brew this like 20-year-old Mr. Beer brew kit.
That would be a lot of fun. Hey, here comes Tiffany. I think Tiffany should have a glass of this. Do you want a glass of this? It's a stout. It is your cup of tea.
It is my cup of tea.
It's opening up.
Yeah, and I like the flavor of it. It's good. I mean, I really enjoyed it enough to buy a whole bottle of it and bring it over and say, yeah, I'll drink some more of that.
Big ass bomber.
That was cool. Did you see that?
It's really
slow-mo that. If we can edit this, slow-mo that thing.
I could make a GIF of that.
It'd be like, wah, wah, wah. Yes. Put some dubstep on there.
We'll make a GIF of that. Maybe that'll be our intro that we make, because we don't have an intro yet. We don't have anything.
You got work tomorrow? Okay. I'm going to start you off with this then, because it's 11%. You can't see the look on her face in the video, but I saw it.
Holy God.
It was like alfalfa in a little rascal. She was like, her hair stood up. Back to your original beer. I don't want to put you on the spot. and give away your beer. But for the episode of Three Naked Guys with Clothes On, when your beer is finally done, I think we should have a contest to give away like two bottles of it, or maybe a bomber of it, or something like that.
I would do that.
But it's not my beer to give away. But
No,
I did just put you on the spot on video.
Nope, I will absolutely
Not that
do
kind of
that.
guy.
The more people that try it, the better. I mean, it's just from a kit, so it's not like it's a recipe that I made. But I want to start off knowing that I can make something from a kit that's drinkable and isn't terrible. So yeah, absolutely. If
We have to come up with some kind of a contest or something. I mean, we can't just be like, oh, we'll just pick random guy. Nah, it should be.
Whoever wants to donate the most money to buy the next round of ingredients.
That's not a contest. That's a
kidding.
GoFundMe. Maybe the viewer from the furthest away.
Okay, we could do that.
Within the continental U.S. because we're gonna have to ship it. I ain't trying to send this
Right.
to Bosnia.
Yeah,
Sorry, Bosnians.
it probably wouldn't arrive safely anyways. But yeah, we could definitely do that. That's not a bad idea. Let's do that. To someone that's the furthest away, you have to comment somewhere, whether it's on the Facebook, the YouTube, which is not. I haven't really done much with the YouTube. It's on there, but I'm not advertising it yet because I actually need to move it to a different channel. The Instagram, you can find me on Instagram. It's letter after I. The Facebook is Beer is Yummy. I actually made a Facebook for this show, but I haven't done anything with that yet either. But it is begun because this isn't a thing of its own. My beer page is all encompassing everything, and then there should be a page just specifically for this show. So Three Naked Guys with Clothes On. I'll post it there. People can start finding that stuff there. And that's what we'll do once it's ready. And then we'll also, once it's ready, we'll try that one live on camera as well. Or maybe not live. I don't know.
I think we should try it live.
We could do a Facebook live.
I think for sure that should
Or
happen.
an Instagram live or something like that.
Because it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be a really good beer that's great for the show. It's going to be a really bad beer, also great for the show.
Yeah,
I mean, the look on our faces, if it's just a disaster, would still be awesome.
If it still tastes like green bean, oh man,
It won't.
I'm not gonna like that.
I guarantee you, if you open it up and drank it right now, it would still taste better. But it'd still be flat. It's not carbonated yet.
Right.
In the big breweries, I found that they carbonate it right in the gigantic fermenter because they can seal off the airlock. It's a giant stainless steel thing. They can apply the pressure from the yeast and do it naturally right there. At least that's what they do at Market Garden.
Okay.
These are things I've learned. You know, I've been on beer tours before. This is the first one as someone who has brewed beer. I understand the process
Makes
a lot
it
more
different.
now, going through the tour and seeing how the big guys do it. Their airlock is as big as your fermenter. They use a bucket.
Right.
A damn bucket is
Right.
their airlock, and it's going bloop 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 bloop. I mean, there's so much yeast making so much alcohol. I mean, they're big fermenters. They said if you drink a 6-pack out of there every day, it would take you 30 years to drink the whole thing.
Wow.
That's a lot of beer.
How many gallons is it? Did they say? Do you remember?
He didn't say how many gallons it was. They do everything in barrels.
Or
One
barrels, I
barrel,
guess, is what I'm thinking.
one barrel is like 2 kegs, like full-size kegs.
Right.
And they deal in the thousands of barrels. So
they're pretty big.
yeah, they're big, but they're not as big as Great Lakes.
Right. Still craft, but big.
Yeah, and they
I went to
several
Lockport
spots.
yesterday. I went to Lockport Brewing yesterday. That's in the Bolivar area. We went to the Yorksville Water Park, so on the way
Oh,
back
that
through,
place.
I stopped at Lockport Brewing, and they have their whole system right there, just as a lot of the places around here do as well. So you can see what their system is, and I was sitting there. I had one beer and bought some crowlers, and I was trying to figure out how it all worked in relation to what I just did and what I've been reading, videos I've been watching, the research I've been doing, and it wasn't that difficult to see it on a smaller level, but there were certain things like the airlock that I was wondering about, but their fermenters and everything are not nearly that big. I mean, I think that place just opened up this year. It's a nice place, by the way, if anybody is looking for a nice little place in that area. It's the first craft beer craft beer brewery in Tuscarawas County in 65 years, actually, and they're getting ready to do an expansion. They just bought another property. They'll be expanding. I had their Ruckus IPA. I recommend that. Brought home their Lock Porter and a Strawberry Ale, so I can't wait to try those. I might do a solo video on those, unless he's here or I'm at his place. But very nice. But yeah, much smaller scale, and been to a few other places that their equipment is right out in the open, and it's interesting to see all the different sizes. So we went to Aqueduct Brewing, and one of their main kettles, I don't know if they had more, but it seemed like everything was out in the open, and the kettle was only this high off the ground. So I don't know, I don't know how many barrels something like that does.
Yeah, I don't know. I know those things, I mean, some of them go underground a little bit, depending on how the building is set up.
Yeah, I don't know if it would. They did have some stuff.
I mean, some of those things might just be doing, a 100 gallon batch, which is a very small batch in the grand scheme of things. We do 5 gallon batches.
Right.
That's unbearably small. These guys, I mean, if they're not doing, 500 gallons at a time, is it profitable? I mean, it's business.
Right.
These breweries that are popping up everywhere are trying to make money.
Right.
I would love to make money at it one day, but when I do a 5 gallon batch, I'm giving that stuff away. It's it's not. I'm drinking it too. I mean, I want people to enjoy it, but I just want it to be good beer. I'm not going to make a buck off of a 5 gallon batch. You pretty much couldn't.
I don't think you could.
The amount of time it takes. I mean, your time
hard.
is worth something. The amount of time it takes to make a 5 gallon batch isn't that much different than the time it takes to make a 20 gallon batch or a 100 gallon batch. It's just larger scale ingredients. The smaller the batch like that, it's just not profitable.
Right.
So these guys, I mean, if they're making 100 gallon batches, they're probably not making a ton of money.
No, I'm sure there's some of them that are, and
bigger equipment.
There's so many craft breweries that just go out of business all the time. It's a really cutthroat business right now. There's so many of them. Everybody
flooded business.
Everyone thinks that they can do it, and
hell, I think I can.
Yeah, we're hoping that
I just need about $1 million to get started. So if anyone has $1 million,
we're gonna start a Patreon account, a Patreon page. I'm serious. That might actually happen. Not yet, but down the road a little bit.
I don't know what that is.
It's
is it like Kickstarter and all those?
It's kind of
Are you gonna get charged for saying the names of these things on an online video?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
It's something that
Pepsi,
people can help fund you.
Coca-Cola, Disney,
stuff like that, baby.
Nintendo's
not sponsored by anything other than ourselves. Not sponsored. No, but Patreon is a thing where people can donate to you, and on different levels, kind of like a Kickstarter, where they get something back, but it's a monthly thing. It's not like where Kickstarter is kind of a one-time thing in general. Patreon, for as little as $5 a month, to fund the show, to fund our brewing and stuff like that, you give them something in return. So we're not technically allowed to sell beer, probably, but you can sample our beer anyways. But we can make up stickers.
If you're over 21.
Right.
That's an important thing.
Always over 21. If you're under
21, you can take a sip of the finished product before it's finished. Before we had yeast.
Yes.
There's no alcohol in it. It's basically
that would even be before it became a green bean, right?
No, like right there where we in the last video, we were outside in that beaker.
Oh, that's true. That's
no
true.
That was that. You can give that to children, and they'll just think it's gross.
You could have the green bean tea.
Green bean tea.
You
no matter how
could
old
have the
you
green
are.
bean tea. That I'm sure they are so excited right now. It's got to be. They're just chomping at the bit for it.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, Patreon's
I can feel my
coming
wallet
later.
Heavier.
How long has this video been that we've just been babbling?
24 minutes.
Wow.
24 minutes.
It's
24 minutes?
A lot longer than the last one.
Maybe
it's
one
gonna
quick
need some
note.
more editing.
One quick note before we go. I was at Mitchell's Ice Creamery, whatever, up in Cleveland, and had a Great Lakes Edmund Fitzgerald Porter ice cream chocolate chunk. It was freaking amazing. I paid for it and haven't gotten a dime for recommending that, and they don't need the promotion. The line was outside. But it's beer related, and I cannot say how good that ice cream was. It was so good. I want to go get more. But
I want to go there right now as well.
Unless you have anything else.
Not really. That was episode 2.
That's
I
episode
don't
2.
know if it was any better, but we're going to keep doing them regardless. We're going to keep working on it. Keep looking for how we link everything. Like I said, eventually everything's going to work out. This is just the very beginning.
If you have any recommendations for improvement, comment below. We are all about your positive criticism.
Positive
if you just
criticism.
want to talk shit, that's fine too, I suppose.
Don't tell me about my fat gut or anything like that. I drink beer, so.
Be like, hey Jay, did you get some sun?
I did get a little bit at the water park.
I can't see you with that wall being the same color as you. It's just like a floating beard.
I would say something, but we already said we're not getting political, so never mind. We'll see you in episode 3.
Episode 3 coming up next someday.
Beer is yummy.
Beer is yummy.
Yay, beer.